The latest developments surrounding the Strait of Hormuz have once again drawn global attention as tensions in the region continue to escalate. During a recent broadcast, Martha McCollum highlighted breaking details about ongoing efforts to secure and potentially reopen one of the world's most strategically vital waterways. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point through which a significant percentage of global oil supply passes, making any disruption not just a regional concern, but a global economic issue. In a phone call earlier in the day, former President Donald Trump reportedly expressed strong criticism of NATO, calling the alliance weak and suggesting it would not be reliable in a major crisis. According to him, NATO would not step in to protect the strait if a larger conflict were to erupt. This sentiment reflects a broader skepticism he has voiced repeatedly, questioning whether the alliance would truly support the United States in times of heightened geopolitical tension. Trump also declined to comment directly on emerging reports that he may be considering a bold and controversial strategy, taking control of Iran's Karg Island. This island is of enormous strategic importance as it serves as a primary hub for Iran's oil exports. Some reports suggest that controlling or blockading Karg Island could be used as leverage against Iran, especially if Tehran continues actions that threaten shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz. The idea has been described by some analysts as effectively holding the island hostage in response to Iran's own attempts to disrupt maritime traffic. Lucas Tomlinson, reporting from Dubai, provided additional context and analysis. Drawing from his military background, he emphasized that any such move would be highly significant. Karg Island, located in the northern Persian Gulf, is responsible for the vast majority of Iran's oil exports, estimated at around 96%. This makes it not only economically vital for Iran, but also a strategic target in any effort to pressure the country. While Iran has explored alternative routes for oil transport, including pipelines and overland shipments, Karg remains central to its export infrastructure. Tomlinson suggested that if the United States were to pursue a strategy of seizing or neutralizing key Iranian assets, it would likely be aimed at forcing Iran into concessions. The deployment of U.S. forces to the region appears to support the idea that military options are being considered. For instance, the USS Boxer, carrying approximately 400-500 Marines, has reportedly been directed toward the area. However, such a deployment is not immediate. It could take several weeks for these forces to arrive, as amphibious groups typically make logistical stops along the way, including in places like Hawaii. The mobilization of Marine units is particularly noteworthy. These units are designed to be self-contained, capable of operating independently with infantry, logistics, air support, and heavy equipment all integrated into a single force. They bring with them advanced capabilities, including stealth fighter jets like the F-35B, Osprey Tutrada aircraft, heavy lift helicopters, and attack gunships. This level of preparedness suggests that the US is positioning itself to have a wide range of options, from deterrence to direct military action. At the same time, Trump's criticism of NATO could complicate efforts to build a coalition response. European allies may be less inclined to participate if they feel publicly undermined. Tomlinson pointed out that this creates a delicate balancing act. On one hand, the US may seek support from Europe. On the other, harsh rhetoric could push those allies away. There is also the question of reciprocity. If Europe hesitates to support US actions in the Gulf, could that affect American support for European priorities, such as the ongoing conflict in Ukraine? Historical comparisons have also been raised to highlight the shifting balance of naval power. At one point, the British Royal Navy dominated global seas with over 1,000 ships at its peak. Today, however, the United Kingdom's naval capabilities are far more limited, with only a small number of operational warships. This decline underscores broader changes in global military power and raises questions about the ability of traditional allies to contribute meaningfully to large-scale operations. Meanwhile, US military activity in the region continues to intensify. Reports indicate that aircraft such as the A-10 Warthog have been conducting operations along Iran's southern coast, targeting naval assets associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. These actions suggest a focus on countering Iran's maritime capabilities, particularly fast boats and gunships that could threaten commercial shipping. Another dimension of the situation involves territorial disputes in the Persian Gulf. Some islands currently under Iranian control are claimed by the United Arab Emirates. This raises the possibility that any US intervention could be framed not only as a response to Iranian aggression, but also as support for regional allies seeking to reclaim disputed territory. Such a move could strengthen partnerships between the US and Gulf states while also altering the strategic landscape of the region. The Gulf countries themselves have shown increasing alignment with the United States. According to recent statements, the UAE has committed to significant economic investments in the US, signaling a deepening partnership. At the same time, these nations have been directly affected by Iranian actions, including missile and drone attacks. This shared sense of threat has brought them closer to Washington's position. Interestingly, Trump has also pointed to countries outside of NATO, such as Japan, as potentially more reliable partners. Despite constitutional limitations on its military, Japan has strong incentives to ensure the Strait of Hormuz remains open, as a large portion of its energy imports passes through the region. In fact, a significant share of oil and gas transported through the Gulf is destined for Asian markets, including China, Japan, and South Korea. This raises a broader question about the role of global powers like China. As one of the largest importers of Gulf oil, China has a major stake in maintaining stability in the strait. Whether Beijing will take a more active role in ensuring the free flow of energy remains uncertain, but the economic pressure could push it toward greater involvement. In conclusion, the situation in the Strait of Hormuz is rapidly evolving, with military, economic, and political factors all intersecting. The potential for escalation remains high, particularly if strategies like targeting Kharg Island are seriously pursued. At the same time, the dynamics between the United States, its allies, and other global powers will play a crucial role in determining how events unfold. The coming weeks are likely to be critical, as decisions made now could have far-reaching consequences for regional stability and the global economy.